Hey. Today is 8/15/2015, and is your front kick a front kick, or is it a whooshy kick? A whooshy kick. You're like whooshy, wishy-washy. Is the wishy-washy whooshy kick, or is it a front kick? Proper way to do a front kick is to get in the san-chin. San-chin is with your foot like this, your foot like this, and your other foot like this in front, about a shoulder width apart from each other. Like that, see? So if your front foot is cocked, it's a praying mantis. My style uses the praying mantis style, or stance. My style uses the praying mantis stance. These are your feet. This is your left foot, and okay, and then this is your right foot. Okay, so your back of your right foot will be the ball of your foot. The back of it will be at a 45 degree like this, and this foot, your left foot, will be straight, or vice versa. Straight, see, cocked or straight like that. See, so it'd be like this, as long as the ball of your foot, or the back of your foot is shoulder width apart from this foot to this foot, and this is your leading foot. Your front foot is at a 45 degree, and your other foot is straight. That's the san-chin. That's the san-chin stance, and it's a praying mantis stance. That's the way a praying mantis stands when he's in a defensive mode, in offensive mode. When he's in offense, when a praying mantis is in an offense and defense mode, he will stand with his leg at a 45. His leading leg, whatever leg it is, leading leg at a 45, and his back leg will be straight like that, and they'll be lying here at the back of the ball of this foot, and they're one shoulder width apart for the stance, and knees are bent. And okay, so that's what I'm in right now. I'm a shoulder width apart. My right foot is at a 45, and my left foot is straight, and my toes are in line with the back of my right foot. And it's in front, and it's at a 45. So my toes of my left foot are in line with the toes or my foot of my right foot So my left foot is toes are in line with the heel or the back part of my right foot. They're in line, one shoulder width apart, and my knees are bent. Okay, so now is your front kick a whooshy kick, wishy-washy kick, or a front kick? What is it? Okay, so to do a front kick, you bring your knee up like this, bring your knee up like that, and this is also a guard. This is a groin guard. You can't hit my groin, because all I got to do is move it slightly on any attack. So that also is a guard. So that's flat. You should be able to set up a cup of water right there, and it should be level. Then you strike out like that. You strike out, and you bring it back in and down. So you bring it up, flat, strike out, bring it back. And so you bring it up flat, strike out, and then bring it back. Okay, so that's a front kick. A whooshy kick is in between that. A wishy or a wishy-washy kick is in between that. It's almost like a stiff-legged kick, like that, but it's kind of bent, and it's kind of a front kick like that. It's not bringing this up flat where you can put water on it and kick it out. Okay, so that's a whooshy or a wishy-washy kick. Not bringing it up flat out and kick, once you touch, you push. So it's up, out, push, bring back. Up, out, push, back in position, down. Up, flat, out, push, back in position, down. Okay, so once you're up, flat, that's also, this is also a knee guard. It's a block. It's a block. You can't kick me in the groin. Not with my knee right there. It's because all I gotta do is slightly go like that. And also with your knee like that, you're also in a position to use the my style of karate is Kung Fu karate or Uechi-ryu karate or Okinawan karate. Okay, so with your knee, when you're in a front kick position, bring your right arm like that. That's called a power block or a crane block. So the reason they call my style a Kung Fu style is because it has animal movements in it, like that, like the crane block. Okay, anything comes from this side and kicks, you know, looping backhands or whatever comes, you know, a hook punch, whatever comes from that side cannot get through with a power block or a crane block. It can't. And same thing with the other side. Same thing. See? Same thing. You know? So it'd be up like that. Or you can have it like this. Whichever way you want it. That is a power block. A crane block. Or a it's a power block or a crane block. So that's the main block in my style, which is Uechi-ryu, Okinawan karate. It's Uechi-ryu karate, Okinawan karate, or Kung Fu karate. Kung Fu is more of a general term. All that's doing is saying this style has animal movements in it. That's what Kung Fu means. But see what it is the master of your style, whatever style you are. And if it's a Kung Fu style, what he did is he studied how animals fight and defend themselves, offense and defense of animals fighting, because animals fight all the time. It's natural. It's nature. Animals fight all the time. It's nature. So what the Kung Fu master did, you know, whatever style you're in, if it's Kung Fu, then what he did is watch, you know, what each animal did that's in his style, in your style, or in his style, which each animal did as offense and defense, and incorporated that into human movements. So that's Kung Fu. But so what is your front kick? Is it a wishy kick? You know, with almost a stiff-legged kick, almost a stiff-legged kick, or is it a flat out and push back down? What is it? Huh? That's all I'm asking. And you know, do it left or right-handed. Same thing with the power block, right or left. See, I can sit there and block all day long. Everything comes both ways. See, you know, it's a power block. It's a crane block. The reason they call it a crane block is because the bird, you know, the big ass bird with leg and wing. That's a crane. That's a crane bird. And that's the animal. So therefore my style is Kung Fu. So that's Kung Fu is a general term. Whenever karate style has Kung Fu movements in it, then you call it Kung Fu style. But my style, the main name of it is Okinawan, because it was developed back in Okinawa, overseas in Okinawa. So it's called Okinawan karate. And it's called Uechi-ryu karate. That's the actual, I think that's the actual Okinawan name for it, is Uechi-ryu. And then Kung Fu is the general term. So there you have it. What is yours? What is your front kick? Is that a wishy-washy? Is a wishy kick? They call it a wishy kick. I think it's for wishy-washy. It's a wishy-washy kick because it's in between It's in between a straight-legged kick and a kick coming up straight with like almost stiff-legged. So, you know, it's like, see, if I'm going to do that here, I'm going to go up, flat, out, push, down, back. Okay, see, so it's up, flat, out, push, back into position, down. Up, out, push, back into position, down, like that. Okay, so this position here is a block. That's a block. That'll block your groin, plus other parts of your body. That's a block. And when you put it together with your right or left hand, whichever leg you come up with, then it's a power block, which blocks the whole body, your whole face, arm, everything. Blocks everything. So that's called a power block or a crane block. I took karate for 2 years. My first sensei, which is my teacher, sensei means your teacher. Okay, my first teacher was Bill Keith. I think it was William L. Keith, I think his name is, but call him Bill Keith. He was a 4th degree black belt. And my second teacher, when he sold his studio or his dojo, he called it dojo. When he sold his dojo to Mr. Thompson, who was at the time 7th degree black belt, but I think I read in the phone book he's like 8th degree now, or 9th. He's like an 8th degree black belt, and it takes many years of teaching and learning to become another dan like that. He's an 8th degree or 8th dan karate. You call it degree or dan. So he's an 8th dan or an 8th degree black belt. That's what in my style, and it goes to 10th degree. So that'll tell you something how experienced Mr. Thompson is. And he has a couple kids, and he has a Korean wife who's also a black belt. But he has a Korean, and he was a Green Beret. And he has something like 7 kills, confirmed kill. He was a Green Beret, and he has something like seven confirmed kills when he was in, I think he was in Vietnam, one of the wars. But he was on our side. So that's Mr. Thompson, and he's black. He's a black guy, but he's a really nice guy. I mean, really nice guy. You know, you wouldn't think, you know, an 8th dan would be a real mellow person, and he is. He's a very mellow person. You wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't even know he knew karate unless he told you, because you know, he's an 8th dan, and an 8th degree black belt. He's probably about 5'8", probably 5'8", and probably, you know, 180, 190 pounds. You know, he's about Gracie's size. I don't suggest doing the Gracie style though, because of their technique. It's very weak. It's a very weak technique, and it relies on a ground clinch, where you get your arms like this and your legs like that. It relies on that to win, and that's a ground clinch, and UFC finally recognize that as a ground clinch. So now when they get in that clinch and they stay in it any length of time, and they do that little palm heel that Gracie used to do, they'll be standing up. And every time Gracie stood up and came and tried to get in and block their punches and stuff and kicks, so he doesn't get hurt at going in to get him, so to take him to the ground, he'd get hurt. He'd get hurt all the time. So the Gracie style is kind of useless in the UFC now. Now that they classified his ground technique of blocking the arms and legs and doing a full mount with your legs and arms locked, and then just sneaking in little palm heels, which is an open hand. And all other open hands are illegal, except for that. The reason being is because the Gracie style started the UFC and wanted to prove their style was the best and ultimate style of any style. And really, it's the weakest. And getting down someone and go like this, if he can do an open hand like that, then why can't you do an eye thrust? Because that's what you're going to get you out of it. Like Ken Shamrock proved and when he was fighting against Gracie, he held his hand like this to right there by his eye. All he had to do was like that. He would have to release that. It's like it's a ground clinch, and he would have had to release. And that's all I would have been able. That's all Gracie would have been able to think about. Oh, my eye, like that. You know, that's like the softest part of your body. You can't even touch that, and not be hurt. Where your groin you can at least touch. Your eye is your softest part of your body. Your eye. So if Ken Shamrock would have went through with it, which he knew it was against the law. He knew it was against the rules of the UFC to use any finger in the eye, or that was always against the rules, always, because Gracie started the UFC, and the reason why Gracie won it, I think 3 times. I think he won it. I think he won it the first 2 and then 1 more time. But the reason he did it is because all the rules that there was only 2 or 3 rules at the beginning of UFC, but that was one of them, where you couldn't do open hand techniques, because the open hand technique with an eye thrust like that, or a thumb in the eye, or a finger in the eye, that would maim a person, so that he's not the same person as he went in. He might be blind out of that eye, or the other eye, both eyes, so, yep. The rules all revolved around the Gracie style, so therefore the Gracie style had an advantage as soon as you walked in the ring. The Gracie style had the advantage, and they really had the advantage when they were able to do a ground clinch like that, Gracie's ground clinch, and not have to stand up. So they got your hands tied first, because you can't use open hand techniques, and then all he has to do is lock your legs and your arms, and it's pretty much over. It's just a matter of time, because of the rules, not because that style is an ultimate. That's I don't even want to know Gracie's style, really. I've seen enough of it to know that it's not a street technique. It's not a street style, that's for sure. Because if I got someone down just like Gracie did, when he won his matches, I would be blind. I'd be blind. Because there is no rules on the street, and that's why the Gracie style prevailed for a couple times, and 3 times I think, until they changed that rule, where once you're on the ground and you're all locked up and you're not making any headway, only other than that open hand technique of a palm heel, all other open hand techniques are illegal. They're illegal in UFC. So why is the palm heel? Huh? Yeah. It was all in Gracie's favor. The rules were, and the only thing they proved is they have like the weakest style out there. Shit, I don't even want to know the Gracie style, the Jiu-Jitsu style. That's brother, But anyway, I got off on a tangent. I just wanted to do the front kick thing. I like the UFC. I love the UFC. But when Gracie was fighting, I didn't like that, because you'd have to wait, hour or hour and a half or whatever it takes, some little short techniques, little sissy techniques, because of the rules, where Ken Shamrock couldn't just thumb him in the eye and get right out of that, because that's all that Gracie could have thought of. If he got thumbed in the eye, is that pain. He would automatically release. That's an automatic release. It's like Ken Shamrock knew. And he held it up there like that for 5 minutes, so it wasn't going to be blocked. He just didn't do it because it was against UFC rules. He wanted to be able to fight in the UFC. Ken Shamrock. So in my opinion, Ken Shamrock won that against Gracie. He didn't lose it at all. He just lost it because of the rule. That's all But Ken Shamrock won it. But it's according to UFC rules, and since Gracie, he won it. It's according to UFC rules, but according to my rules, according to street rules, not just my rules, but the street rules, Ken Shamrock won that all the way. Because as soon as he got him down in that, where he locked the arms and the feet, he had his arm like this, bam, all he had to do was bam, he would have been right out of it like that. He wouldn't have been having to sit there for half an hour, just waiting for Gracie to sneak that little palm heel in that little sissy technique, Oh man, that lost a lot of UFC fans. That's why they ruled that as a ground clinch. It's like the Muhammad Ali boxing, when you know, you got where he isn't even he's just covering himself like this. It's called a rope-a-dope-dope, and it's just, you know, he just wait until the other guy wears out, and then he just, you know, punches him once, he's down, you know, because he's all wore out. That's the rope-a-dope-dope, and he won it quite a few times. Muhammad Ali did, or Cassius Clay, whoever you want to call him, but Muhammad Ali did. But in boxing, well, that's not my point. But in boxing, if you get in a clinch, you're not making any headway. You know, you're both in a clinch, you're not getting any headway. Then you break up. You gotta step apart. You know, 3 or 4 feet. And same thing with the ground clinch. Same thing. That should have been from day one. If you got on the ground like that, you're not making hardly any headway, then you should stand up. And that's the way it is now. But as soon as Gracie style started that, it should have been, because they lost a lot of fans. You know, because they didn't want to sit there and see two people laying on each other on the ground, you know, with their arms and legs locked up. That's a ground clinch. Clear, very clear. I don't have any respect at all for Gracie. As far as I'm concerned, he hasn't won a match yet. But he has taken a UFC 3 times. He's a nobody. But anyway, I just want to talk about the front kick and see if you're doing a wish kick or a front kick.